Kentucky pre-rut, this buck was dead in March. I'd rather have the right 1 acre than the wrong 5,000 acres. And so just because a farm is smaller doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to pack the punch that it needs to. Got him, killed him. So over the last couple years, Bobby Worthington and I have gotten to be really good friends and spend a lot of time together. And we wanted to do a scouting trip. We wanted to go together and look at some different properties, and had access to some big woods properties. That tends to be his expertise, is hunting the big woods and the big rolling or hill country type woods. And I had access to a 80-acre farm. So he and I decided to go down together and take a look at that property. And having known how that thing sets up and how it's got the big bluff and connects some big blocks of timber, as soon as we walked into that, we knew we were in the right spot. And this is an opportunity on an onX or one of the scouting tools that you can see it based on the topo. The lines are so close on that topo, it goes from flat, flat, flat to insanely steep, like 200 feet of elevation drop. And you could tell by looking at the map that this is the spot to be, but we still wanted to verify it because it could have been, you know, the tree that we needed to be in could have been 100 yards up that bluff or 100 yards down that bluff. So the first thing we did was walk all those trails and find the tree to get in. Another good feature with onX is that tracker. You can personally walk those trails with the tracking feature and follow the one trail, go back, walk another one, and find the point based on your track data of where the tightest spot's gonna be. So once the tree was established, we knew exactly where we needed to be. Then it was time to dive into the manipulation, tightening things down, and getting the mock scrapes set. Bobby is a master at mock scrapes. He's been doing it for 50 years, and he hunts the big woods up in Tennessee a lot, and that's one of his keys, constructing mock scrapes and how you need to have the limb positioned down at a certain height, have the licking branch prepped, get the ground prepped, and have all of those mock scrapes. Basically what we did is we put one on each trail, and the point being that if a deer is cruising through there during pre-rut or during the rut, that he's gonna stop and do something with that scrape and give you an opportunity to get drawn and get a shot. All right, boys, this is the Bobby Worthington mock scrape. We're gonna look at 2 of them. I got the man right there. Let's look at the detail of this. That's the scent branch right there, coming on up. Zip tied everything together there, and then zip tied it to this tree to get the exact right angle. Bobby, did I describe that about right?
That's exactly right.
All right.
But show you, where's the boogeyman?
The boogeyman is going to be right up there.
Excellent.
This is a heck of a spot.
And that's the cover we fixed by pulling ratchet strapping the...
Yeah, we need to look at that too, because this is all next level stuff. So it's a fairly bare tree, and what Bobby did was took these 2 saplings and ratchet strapped them into the tree, but there's a ton of cover up there now. It's gonna break up the silhouette. So really next level stuff. Once you get your tree stand hung, if there's some saplings around that and there's not a lot of cover in the tree, we'll ratchet strap some saplings over into the tree stand itself and create basically a nest up there, because you know the way it looks in March is not going to be how it looks in November when all the leaves are off. So the more cover you can get up there, hide your silhouette when all the leaves are off the trees. All right, this is the second mock scrape, built pretty different. Big bushy tree overhang right here. You come in, and what Bobby did on this one was he tied some limbs together with some twine. Then you come back here and you cut a tree with a V, and then zip tied it up to this other sapling to force this one down to get the exact right angle for this scrape. All right, so we got our last mock scrape here, and the issue we have is we tied a live grapevine we hooked it, and the grapevine keeps pulling up. So Bobby's got one of his old Indian tricks. Bobby, show us how it's done, buddy.
Since Sir Isaac Newton invented this thing called gravity, it's good to have around sometimes, and boy, sometimes I have a little battle with it. But right there, the only way I know to bring this down, the way everything is working here, is to weight it. Since there was a grapevine handy, I want to give the buck two options. Some of them love a grapevine, all of them love something coming down, so they like a grapevine. But I never could, no matter how much we lowered that trunk, because of that grapevine, I could not get this scrape as low as I wanted it.
So a lot of guys think that setting scrapes up in March, April, in the spring is pointless. But you do get bucks coming through there that will start using those scrapes, and the less human intrusion you can have and already established, the better off you are, because that buck comes through there, and once he hits it one time, you've got the scent in there you need, whether it be August, September, 1st of October. Whenever he comes through there and starts working those scrapes and takes it over, boy, that's really a feather in your cap. So finishing up our scouting trip and our prep trip in March, we went ahead and positioned 2 cameras in there. We got one on the north end of the funnel and one on the south end, so we could get anything that came through there. They were cell cameras, and then it becomes a waiting game, right? We're waking up every morning like everybody else, checking our cell cameras, scrolling through the pictures, and we're not getting anything in there. But in the back of my mind, I know this is a major rut farm. This is not going to really pop until the rut or pre-rut starts, and lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. About the middle of October, 3 o'clock in the morning, we get a couple nice bucks coming through there and going back through there, and one of them was this big 10-point. And you can tell this is going to be his travel corridor when the pre-rut starts. So what we're doing now is just waiting on that first cold front. If we can get something cold, where we get a significant temperature drop that end of October, I know that I'm going to be in that tree in Kentucky.
I'm excited to introduce a brand new Deer Society video series called The Art of Deer Hunting. Now within this series we have categories such as the art of calling, the art of food plots, the art of scent control. We're going to detail and break down all things in these categories plus more, from trail cameras, stands, scrapes, all things related to successful deer hunting is what this series is all about. This series is a culmination of all the information we've received internally from some of the best deer hunters across the country and the methods they've used to successfully harvest mature whitetails year after year. This is called The Art of Deer Hunting on the Deer Society YouTube channel.
So the end of October, we finally got that first cold front coming. On the front side of the front, there was a bunch of rain, and they've got 5 inches in like 24 hours in this part of Kentucky. And as we're driving out there, I'm thinking, man, this river that we've got to walk in, that might actually be a challenge. Got all suited up, ready to go. Walked in, dive off the highway down into that river, and we ended up in a jungle. We're not able to walk in the middle of the river. The water is far too deep, so we're having to get off the riverbank about 30 or 40 yards to walk up through there. I'm getting a terrible feeling. I know that we're not doing this right. And sure enough, we jumped some deer. And as soon as that happened, I said, we've got to back out of here. We've got to find another way to get into this stand. And the new plan was to get to that tree and as straight a route as humanly possible through a shooting lane, so that if a buck did come through there, we'd be able to get a shot at him while he was smelling us or before he smelled us. But that was the only option now to get into the tree, and that's what we were going to have to do. Get everything set up, and like everybody else, I pull my phone out and start looking at cell cam pictures, and that camera that's in the funnel, I've got a picture of that buck. He had come through there, and immediately I think he's one of the deer we kicked up out of the river, and I checked the other camera, and all you see is the hind end of a deer running, and I'm absolutely devastated. You know, it's heartbreaking, right? You put all this effort in, go out there in March, you have a suicide mission in August, you got time away from family, time away from work, and you put all this effort in, just that we were going to stick it out. We're in a rut funnel. We're in a long-range rut funnel. A lot of travel corridors coming through there. Maybe it's not the 10-point. Maybe it's another deer that comes traveling through there. We're going to stick it out for the cold front and give it all we got for the next 4 days, and then we'll reassess what the plan will be for the rest of the rut. And I hear a blue jay about 100 yards away up the funnel starting to chirp and do his thing and alert. And sure enough, I look down the funnel and through the hardwoods, here he comes, and it's that nice 10-point. So he starts making his way up through there. He's not in a big rush. He's taking his time. He's browsing a little bit, but he is coming towards the shooting lane that we had to walk across. So I get drawn a little bit early on him. And he walks right into that shooting lane. He doesn't get super alert, but I can tell he's starting to smell and lick the branches of where we walk. And I had a nice little window, so I just got lined up perfect on him. Got him, killed him. That's up. Bro. What just happened?
You got him.
You dang right. We got him, buddy.
Let's go.
Let's go. Oh my gosh, morning one, baby.
Yeah.
Rut, morning one, unbelievable. We're gonna break everything down, go get him. We've already called him in, confirmation number, good to go. We're gonna break everything down, head back to South Carolina, and then off to Kansas we go. Let's go, baby. Yes.
He's standing right here. I think so.
See if he went on, did he go on that side?
Oh my goodness.
Look at there, boys. Oh, Acorn Point. Got some beams on him. Heck yeah. Done and dusted in Kentucky. So again, this is one of those properties that when things are right, it's bulletproof and it is a long-range rut funnel that pinches everything down on that bluff. And with a north wind in the morning when the thermals are rising, it's blowing everything right off that bluff. And the wind does, when the thermals do drop down on the other side of that bluff, I mean, you're 100 feet up and they're blowing way, way out. And it's just an opportunity to sit there every day and not get blown up by any deer. So long-range travel corridor or long-range trail is a big, well-established trail that you can look at that is connecting big blocks of woods. During the rut, they like to get in those long-range travel corridors where they feel safe so they can move from point A to point B and still have cover. A lot of times in those travel corridors, you'll have a lot of historic sign. You'll have rubs from 4, 5, 6 years, and then you'll have fresh rubs that year. And when it's a big, heavy, worn trail in timber or in cover, and you can look on a map and see that it connects with other timber pockets, and it's got that historic sign, those big old rubs, that is a long-range travel corridor. The keys to this hunt really: pre-rut, right weather, those falling temperatures on the front end of that really cold front and hunting through that cold front, and then truly the early season prep. Getting in there in March, getting the stand hung, getting the cover around the stand, getting the mock scrapes in, getting the cameras positioned, being able to adapt and change our access. I assessed how we could get to the stand the absolute most direct way without crossing very much thick stuff or many trails at all. One that was direct, straight to the tree with disturbing as little as humanly possible. All of that were the keys to this being a successful hunt.
Thanks for watching this Deer Society Hunt Breakdown. Subscribe to the channel for more great educational content to help you become a better hunter. From podcasts to the Art of Deer Hunting series, hunt breakdowns, tips, tactics, and a whole lot more. The Deer Society is all about deer hunting education.